Hey, how's everybody doing? It's the Fading Fire, and before I get into the video, I'd like to give a shouts out to Dark Claw Raven. If you guys do not know who he is a YouTube uploader, as well as myself, and when I first started playing with my Pyromancer build, I was just summoning random people, and we have fought on multiple occasions. And after I think like our third fight, something like that, he sent me a message saying, hey, cool build. And I told him that I was practicing my Pyromancer, and as we exchanged messages, we figured out that we both uploaded content. So we decided to get together and do a series of matches, and it was really good to fight him because he's a more experienced player. You know, he's much better at PvP than, you know, the average Joe. And when you want to get better at a specific thing, you want to fight people who are more experienced, so you can see what is good and what is not. But so thanks to Dark Claw Raven for, you know, helping me out with my Pyromancer, getting together and fighting with me. I will link his channel box in the description. He posts a lot of funny stuff. his videos are really funny. I think he called it satire content, but either way, I'll post his channel in the description box below. Alright, so let's get into it. This is my Pyromancer build. I played through PvE another time. Oh man, I'm really starting PvE is really starting to get on my nerves. You know, PvE is good, don't get me wrong. I love the PvE in this game. When I first played the game, I thought the PvE was awesome. But now that I've beaten the game, you know, 12, 13 times, kind of getting old, you know? And I really get mad when I'm just trying to go through the game. I get killed by the dogs or a boss, and I just really want a PvP at this point. But you know, we made it through PvE, got our Pyromancer online, and from the little time that I've gotten to play with the Pyromancer is really fun. I've always been a caster type of person in Dark Souls, so you know, I always play like a faith build or intelligence build or a Pyromancer build. But whether people say magic sucks or not, I've always been a casting guy. But Pyromancer in this game seems really fun to use, and I really enjoy it this time around. It takes more skill than the previous Souls games, but once you get it on lockdown, you can do some really cool things with it, and you can really trick people out. But it is a really fun build to play, and I'm looking forward to playing it some more. As you guys see, I just try to backstep out of that, and I know backsteps do not have iframes on them, but I was trying to backstep into a running attack, but I got my spacing wrong. But we'll work on it. Like I was saying, this Pyromancy stuff is really fun, and I only use a set couple of spells in this video because when I first get into a caster or a specific type of caster, I just use a set amount of spells before I get into the trickier ones. So, you know, the ones with longer cast time or that are harder to aim, or, you know, something like that. So before I get into other spells, I like to choose a set amount of spells that I want to get familiar with, and then I'll roll into the other spell. And I don't know why that Black Flame didn't hit him right there. That thing has a weird hitbox that I need to figure out. But Pyromancy is not as easy as it was before in the previous Souls games, as I just said. I mean, you're really going to need to invest some time into the castings to see, you know, the hitbox and free aim and stuff like that, to really get an effective use out of the Pyromancer. So you won't just have great combustion like in Dark Souls 1 and be able to spam it and then get wins. You know, it'll take a little more skill, which is awesome. I love that. You know, like I said, I've always been a caster dude, and now the fact that they take more skill, I feel even more accomplished being a caster guy, because I know I invested time into aiming the spells and knowing when to use them and when not to use them and what spells to use at what times. But other than that, the spells that I chose to get used to, I feel good. I feel good about them. I think they're very good spells, and they're really fun at that. I mean, I had tons of fun playing on the Pyromancer for a couple of days, and I'm glad that I finally got through and stopped being lazy with the PvE and just rushed through it. But somebody really needs to create a mule or a trainer or, you know, something, because I am really getting tired of going through PvE so many times. But one unfortunate thing about the Pyromancer, right now my intelligence is sitting at 40 and my faith is also sitting at 40. So the Pyromancer seems you need to be a very, very high level to get the maximum efficiency out of it. Now what I mean by that is, you make a pure intelligence build, 60 is a soft cap. When you make a pure faith build, 60 is a soft cap. So as you can tell, when you make a pyromancy build, faith and intelligence both at 60 is a soft cap for pyromancy, and that is some serious investment, man. So my build is sitting at 120 right now, so I would need to invest 20 points into both faith and intelligence. So I would need to be a level 160 to get the maximum efficiency out of my pyromancer, and that is, for any other build, that is just completely unnecessary. For, you know, a strength build or quality build or a mage or a faith build, 160 is completely unnecessary. But for the pyromancer, I feel it is necessary to get the maximum efficiency. But you know, the spells at 40/40 hit pretty good. I mean, I hit the chaos bed vestiges for about 700, 800, but it makes me wonder how much I'll hit the, you know, those spells for if I had 60 and 60. I mean, we've heard of a 40/40, but I don't think you guys have ever heard of a 60/60 before. But we'll, you know, you gotta work with what you got, and I've been working with this build. This build is really fun, but I need to work the ins and outs some more, you know, see what spells are really useful and see what spells are really not, and I should steer clear from until, you know, either FromSoft gets on it or a better version of it comes out or something like that. Because one thing about pyromancy, that firestorm seems a little too useless for me, and usually I'm a really optimistic dude, but that firestorm, man, it's just, I don't know, for the huge amount of investment you put into it, it just seems like it does little to no damage, and it doesn't have hyper armor, so you can be broken out of it at any time. And you know, it just seems like the cast time is really, really, really long. But you know, maybe I'll find a use for it later in the future. I don't know. But as of now, I'm not really a fan of that firestorm. But what I am a fan of is the boulder heave. As you guys can see, I'm using it a lot. This boulder heave is really, really useful. When I first saw the spell, when I first used it, I thought like, okay, this is kind of a cheesy spell, you know, when you hit it when you want to style on people or something like that. But I mean, this spell can really be dangerous with the free aim. As you guys see, I free aim hit this a lot, and it has an AoE explosion, and it also is very, very good at the wake up game. So if you hit somebody or knock them down, or if you get the full effect of the boulder heave, you can knock them down with the boulder heave. Oh, before I get into that, those claws are really, really dangerous now. Before the claws were shit, I mean, I think everybody can attest to that. But they gave that weapon art a buff. I don't remember the weapon art's name at the moment, and that amped up the viability of the claws by a ton. But that weapon art really did need help, and FromSoft realized that, so they went ahead and buffed that up. But that boulder heave is really good at free aiming. It's really good at the wake up game, and if you knock somebody down, you can get another one in if they don't roll at this right time, which I've done on multiple occasions. But you know, so I've just been trying new things out, trying set amount of spells. You know, you'll see me switch it up maybe here and there, but I don't know why he put Iron Flesh on. That was kind of confusing. But man, I've just been having lots of fun with it, and I realize that FromSoft is making the PvP side of things a lot more competitive than they usually are. And I've really been neglecting that at first, but now that these, you know, few couple of patches are coming out, I can really see that FromSoft is realizing that some things that they put into the game was not right, or, you know, not viable, and they really amped it up, such as the claws and the Onikiri Ubidachi. I've seen so many people walking, not so many people, but I've seen a lot more people using the Onikiri Ubidachi and the claws, which is awesome, because, you know, they're weapons you don't see very often, and you get to see them more. And they patched out stupid things like the Storm Curve Greysword, Infinite Stun Lock, and the Spin Slash weapon art. I mean, that thing was stupid. You get hit with 1R1 by Black Knight Glaive, and then you get weapon art into a straight weapon art and did 99% of your health. I mean, that's just fucking retarded. And FromSoft realized that, and they patched it out, which is awesome. And it's, how many people do you see with the Black Knight Glaive now? You know, how many people do you see with the Spike Mace? I mean, that's really, really cool that they're realizing that some things may have not been the best way to do things, and they're trying to make the game more enjoyable for all people. So they're buffing the spells, the casting times, the amount of stamina they use. I mean, we're just getting a lot out of PvP, and when that DLC comes out, man, it's gonna be awesome. Gonna get a lot more variety, gonna get a lot more spells and castings, and the patches that are gonna come out are really gonna mix things up for us. And, you know, it's awesome. Some people may not like the change. You know, some people think the Spin Slash weapon art was fine, and they're like, oh, if you don't want to get hit by the combo, just don't get hit by the R1 by the Black Knight Glaive. Shut up, dude. Shut up, man. That is not. Oh god, if you could really sit there and say, hey, just don't get hit by the R1. If you really could sit there and not get hit by one R1 from an experienced player with a Black Knight Glaive, and I get hit by that weapon, I don't know what the weapon is called, Spin Slash, I mean, you must be some type of god, because an experienced player can really hit you with R1 with a Black Knight Glaive.